I've just gotten back from a Murad event. I'm a bit worse for wear, it was raining outside. But Dr Murad himself was there to talk about his philosophy around skincare and general wellness. So keep on watching if you want to hear from the man himself.
That we have the return of internal skincare here in the UK with the launch of our new Hydroglow supplements, which you will have in your bags to take away, and that you can have a little play with and have a look at next door when we move through to the Connected Beauty zone in a bit. So talking of new products and matching our Hydroglow supplement, or complementing it I should say, is our Hydroglow Natural Peel. Now, Tracy and I are very excited about this, but I would like to mention, as hydration moisture is so key to Dr Murad and something he's very much pioneered, this also nicely leads us on into his heritage and his pioneering of glycolic acids. I don't know if you know about that, but Dr Murad was one of the first to use glycolic acids in skincare. In fact, one of your very first products was a glycolic product, wasn't it? And we're celebrating that in our new Hydroglow Aqua Peel.
Each one of us has a different passion. So if I say you need to do exercise, that exercise could be dancing, it could be walking, it could be going to the gym, it could be doing yoga, it could be almost anything. So the idea of needing to do exercise should be something you do. One of the things in my books, I actually give recipes. And I tell people, please don't use my recipe. And they say, why are you putting a recipe in your book? You don't want me to use it. I say, you know what? The more you become yourself, the happier that you will be. So here's a recipe. There are some ingredients in it. Now, I know all of you probably have recipe books. And you see the pictures of what your food is supposed to look like. And it never looks like that because then you feel like a failure. And it has ingredients you may not like. So I say, look at the recipe. Look at the ingredients in it. If there's one of them you don't like, take it out. If there's one you like more than others, add more of it. So make it your own. And then if you don't like any of it, at least use it as a formula to make your own. So the more you become yourself, the more you treat yourself as the most important person in the world, the happier you'll be. So when a doctor tells you you must do exercise and it must be whatever, say, okay, I might need to do exercise, but I'm going to do it my way. I mean, everything you do should be about you. Everything you do should allow the uniqueness of you to blossom. And the fact is, the word supplement is what exactly, we're supplementing what we're not consuming. So if we look at this picture on the surface, and just like Dr. Harper was telling you, the epidermis needs more water. And we can help get more water into it by first exfoliating, removing some of the stratum corneum, the top cell, dead cell layer on the surface of the skin that's really not functioning well. Removing that, allowing moisturizers to penetrate. So when we do that, we're hydrating on the surface. And in Murad, we have a concept called Replenicell, where the water in our formulas are incorporated with things like osmotic pressure to increase osmotic pressure of that water to come into the cells, and trehalose to protect the cells from damage, and something aquaporin stimulators to attract water from inside. But again, that's just the very surface of your skin. It makes up 10% or less of your skin. The dermis is where your skin is, which is predominantly collagen. As we build collagen in our skin, we can encourage more water. It's like thinking of a sponge. The thinner the sponge, the less water it can consume. Now our body, after age 25, loses 1% of its collagen every year. And during the first 3 years of menopause, we lose an additional 25%, so it's rapid. And we can see the difference. The skin becomes thinner, drier, more lackluster as we age. So what we need to do is encourage ways for our body to produce as much collagen as it can. Now, there's a cell in the body called the fibroblast. That fibroblast needs certain nutrients in order to produce collagen. It needs amino acids, which are good proteins. It needs B vitamins, trace minerals, but it needs something called glycosaminoglycans. Our body produces glycosaminoglycans in the form of glucosamine, and we know that that's important in our joints, our tendons, our ligaments, our blood vessels, but also to make the dermis of our skin, which we call connective tissue. But that is something we have to get more and more as we age because our body doesn't produce as much of it. So taking a supplement with glucosamine, I like N-acetylglucosamine, it seems to work a lot better. But beyond that, the shell of whole grains, in my mind, works like glucosamine because glucosamine comes from the shell of sea animals. The shell of grains is kind of the same thing. I don't see that in the literature, it's just my opinion. The reason we don't get whole grains as much is twofold. Number one, underneath that shell, which we know is healthy, is some lipids, some oils, and over time that becomes rancid. So what happens is, in the factories, they take the grain, the rice or whatever, and remove that shell, remove the oil, so the shelf life is longer. So all you're getting when you're getting non-whole grain is the glucose, essentially, the carbohydrate, which is a good source of energy, but you're not getting the other. So eating whole grains, in a way, in my mind, will help you to have less wrinkles. So it's a little secret. If you eat more whole grains, you'll have less wrinkles. And you've seen the RX in pharmacy. The RX stands for recipe. And when we think of a recipe, there may be an ingredient that is the major part of the recipe, of the food that you're making, but all of the other elements are really what make it so wonderful. So, for example, if you like chocolate cookies, chocolate chip cookies, you might think of the chocolate as the main ingredient, but what about the flour, the sugar, the honey, the whatever else you're putting in it, and how it's cooked and everything else. So we think of salicylic acid as a very good ingredient that works well for acne. But when we think of acne, we see redness, we see inflammation, we see kind of an irritation, and there are certain other ingredients that really help reduce it. We think of things like reducing the surface bacteria on the skin, which is not acne, so adding pre and probiotics. Fortunately for Murad, we're connected with Unilever, and Unilever has a technology called TT. And we use those two ingredients with salicylic acid to enhance the potential of it. So we're getting a way better product by using that combination. That recipe is so much more superior to just using plain salicylic acid, which is wonderful by itself, but now it's much better.
We were given this goodie bag, so I'm going to share what's in there with you. I saw this poking out from the top and I was really excited, and it's a connectable. Dr. Murad was talking about how important it is to communicate with other humans and get it off our phones, and Connectable is a great way to interact with others. Let's see what else there is. A skipping rope. Another important thing to keep sane is to move and to exercise. So I'll be using this cute pink skipping rope. What else is there? Ooh, this is one of the new products. Age Reform Hydro Glow Aqua Peel. You saw them talking about this in the video. It gently exfoliates and intensely infuses hydration to reveal a youthful glow. Look forward to using those. Let's see what else we've got in here. Okay. Oh, these are the resurfacing pads that we saw them talking about too. So these are 10% glycolic acid. Let's see what else we have. We've got some more products stacked up in there. Here we've got, again from the Age Reform collection, the Hydro Glow Food Supplement. And I believe there's 60 tablets in here and you have to take 2 a day. And there's one more product in there. Oh, this might be the blemish control that I'm excited about. Yes. Blemish Control Rapid Relief Spot Treatment. This is what I need because I have a huge spot right into my eyebrows right now, and apparently you can use this over makeup when you feel a spot coming on during the day, so a good one for the handbag. And then the lovely girls have also put together all of the press releases that will give me a bit more information on all the products. So what a lovely goodie bag. Thank you very much, Murad.